is this? What is this, Brian? What time do you call this?
Brother, not only do I have my own channel to run, I ended the stream early so I can come and speak to you guys. You guys know my priorities is always this channel, even over mine. If I need to come on here, I'll always be here for you. But good morning to you both, or afternoon, and everyone in the chat.
What a legend you are, Brian. Cutting his own stream short to come onto We Are Tottenham TV.
I feel bad now.
Can you get more legendary status than that?
Always when it comes to you guys. So,
you didn't have to cut it early, man.
Oh no, it was getting nearer the point, but I was just like, no, listen, when you like you said, when us three are together, things happen very often. So if I have to cut my stream short in the hope that the three of us are together when big news breaks on this player of all players, you know I'm going to be here.
So talk to me about this situation. He hasn't flown out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's to do with any sort of transfer or anything like that. But, you know, I spoke to you, I think, on the weekend or just before the weekend. You said there is no chance this deal doesn't happen. You're in full belief. Any sort of doubts at all?
Nope. None. I like I said, until the transfer window shuts, refusing to give up on this deal. The thing that's not concerned me, so I've got to make sure I word this right so it comes out correctly. The big rumours going round that the reason he hasn't travelled is because his fiancée or his wife is going through a very high-risk pregnancy. That's the rumour that's been come out and been spoken about a lot. Now, obviously, I hope everything goes well with that pregnancy and everything's good, but surely that Nottingham Forest knew that yesterday when he was apparently rumoured by everyone to be travelling. So how can that be the reason he's not gone in a day? He was going to be going from all the ITKs, but today he's not going to leave because his wife or fiancé is going through. It's the same as yesterday. So that could very well be the reason, but then it just shows that the rumours of him potentially flying to Portugal must have been utter nonsense, because he wouldn't have travelled. So it's just bizarre. But I still 100% have confidence, faith and belief that this deal goes through. What is getting concerning to me now is that we're not making moves elsewhere. We could be under the radar, but there are other issues that need to be addressed. And they need to be addressed quickly whilst other teams are doing. I mean, even Forest are signing players.
Yeah, well, they need to sign players because we're taking their best player.
Yeah, but I mean, could they be doing with the Langram and Gibbs-White money what we did with the Bow money?
Yeah, that's what I think they're doing, and I think we're not gonna hear more about this Gibbs-White situation until they sign a replacement, in my opinion.
And it looks like they're being busy, aren't they? I mean, I just hope that whilst there's so much silence with Spurs with other targets, whilst we try and wrap this one up by the looks of it, that once this is wrapped up, we had with Kudus and Gibbs-White, let's hope after Gibbs-White is, yes, he's done, he's coming, there's a trickle down with more players coming in at a fast pace, because it's getting to the point now where these players need to come in, and hopefully there'll be a couple before the tour, including Gibbs-White.
That's a week away.
Yeah. So let's hope this is a very busy week for Tottenham Hotspur.
Wait, so Brian, you're talking about the worries that you currently have. I was talking to Ben about there seems to be a bit of a growing frustration at the moment on social media and people with the current transfer window, with the Gibbs-White delay. People are saying, has the whole Gibbs-White saga distracted all the fans from the fact that we actually haven't done much in this transfer window, and are we getting hoodwinked by Levy in the club again? And is this all, everyone was getting very excited after the double here we go a couple of weeks ago with Kudus and Gibbs-White, but actually how are we still stumbling away through this transfer window like in previous years? So what's your thought process on that? Are you on your guard about Tottenham again in this transfer window, or are you willing to see this Gibbs-White thing play out, because at the end of the day it's a bit of an unprecedented situation, isn't it?
Simeon, I'm always on guard when it comes to Daniel Levy. I'm never off watch. What I will say is, after we did that interview with Vinay, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed during the transfer window, because if it is a bust, his own words have hung himself. His own words would have been his downfall, because obviously he's done another interview where he said stuff and it hasn't materialised. And I've kind of been more relaxed about it. I've kind of been more relaxed as well, because I of all the takeover or naming rights and everything, I genuinely think there is a lot of weight behind this one. And the reason I'm thinking there's a lot of weight behind it is obviously the change at board level. The change of not just Thomas Frank coming in, but when you look at it with Thomas Frank, we've spoken about this before. When has a manager ever been able to come in and bring in 8 coaches? We've had arguments over managers with 3 or 4. So there's just too much change going on to not think something's happening. Then you add Kudus and then what would have been Gibbs-White. It was like, this isn't how Spurs operate. So I'm relaxed. Like I said, I'm relaxed about Gibbs-White. I am thinking the way that Lange pulled out Gibbs-White, that maybe we are doing things quietly. And maybe there is going to be a domino effect or players coming in. The longer it goes on, especially now that takeover talk or investment has died down. Although yesterday it started with the naming rights, didn't it? This 20-year. So there's definitely something going on investment-wise. But I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed. I mean, if this was last season, you know what I'd be like. I'd be absolutely out of control. Probably shouting and screaming, going nuts and just blaming everything where I can at Levy. But right now, I'm just like, right, let's just see what Vinay, Lange, Frank, coaching staff, and the top brass, Charrington and Levy do this summer. If the window ends another busted flush and hot air, then I will go absolutely insane. But I'm giving it to the window. I am going to let this window ride out, but I am getting concerned that we're not making any moves. But now Parati's back, or reportedly back. There could be a lot. There's so many different ways to look at it this summer, isn't there? Normally we'd look at it and go, right, it's Levy. He's mucking up on deals, or he's doing this, he's doing that. Whereas this season, I think there's a lot more going on.
Okay.
Yeah, are you worried at all with the links with the Man City thing that came out this morning?
Not in the slightest, especially when I've retweeted it. And the guy that's actually said it, this one guy, there's a tweet with all of his, even the Man City fans say this is the biggest waste of space. Nothing he says comes true. And it's only him talking. Like literally, if you go onto my, I don't know if you can bring it out. If you go onto my tweet, it's literally my last tweet. There's a guy that has literally screenshotted a load of what this guy said in the Man City fans' reactions, and they have said he is the biggest Billy Bull that you'll see. Don't believe a word this man says. So I don't have any. Like I said, I am 100% confident that by the time the window shuts, Morgan Gibbs-White is a Spurs player.
Are those spidey senses?
I'm not going to put those words in. I'm not going to. Just.
What about your Levy senses? What about your Levy senses?
Yeah, listen, I'm always on Levy watch. My Levy senses. I don't listen to them because it just says go nuclear, and I'm trying to be calm right now. But yeah, I like I said, I'm supremely confident it goes through. I really am. I just can't see how it doesn't.
Luca 14 says Levy has played a blinder. He's fooled you all again. Any chance we are being fooled by Levy?
Like I said, the only reason why I think that there is something going on is the fact that there's just so much change. We've had 24 years of, yep, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. There's just too much change going on at board level, at manager level. Daniel Levy didn't wake up one morning and go, do you know what? I'm going to go 180 on everything I do. After 24 years, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So that's the only reason. Now, come the end of the window, if it has been hot air, there is no investment, there is no, we're left short again in the window, or we haven't brought in key areas, then I'm going to have a lot to say. But I'm going to be the calm before the storm. And at the moment, I'm not going to lose my rag.
Are you going to be the calm during the storm?
Yeah, that as well, Ben. I just think there is too much going on behind the scenes that something can't be happening, that something isn't happening. So we'll see. But if it is the naming rights, it's a 20-year deal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
If this Gibbs-White deal can't be completed for whatever reason due to no fault of our own, would that be something you criticise the club over, or is it just one of those things?
It will have to come out, Ben, and see what all the Simeon, and see what all the facts were. This at the moment is solely Nottingham Forest. I don't lay any blame on Tottenham. The only thing I could say with Tottenham, and obviously I don't know this for sure or anything, just add a bit of money on it. If Thomas Frank badly wants this player and he is a key target, and all this is going on, and let's just say Forest have said, right, I want let's say 10 million max, so it becomes 70 million. Is Morgan Gibbs-White and his style of play worth an extra 10 million? Absolutely, bloody lootly for me. Absolutely. And if Spurs have done it because Daniel Levy and Spurs wanted to stick to their guns at 60 million and go, right, you're not getting one over us financially, I think for £10 million extra, the reward for paying that £10 million extra is far greater than not paying it at all. So if it comes out that Spurs would offer more money and they only wanted, let's say, up to 10 million more, then I will lay blame at Tottenham, or some blame. But right now, this is Nottingham Forest. This is Nottingham Forest and their owner, and there's nothing more to it for me.
All right. Well, let's just see how it plays out, Brian. What can we do? It's just another waiting game here. It feels like we're just always waiting.
Yeah, I mean, can we think of a season where there hasn't been a transfer saga?
Nah, there's always a transfer saga. Always a transfer saga, whether it's summer, January, whatever.
You know, the other thing I wanted to add actually to you guys and see what you thought about it. Everyone was saying, obviously, that they think if he got on the plane to Portugal, deal dead, it's all over. First of all, he would have been going to Portugal, not Mars. Like when we bought Sissoko and he was on France international duty on deadline day, he just gets a flight over. But people was going, well, you look at someone like Heung-min Son right now, where there's a lot of talk, is he staying, is he going, does he want to be here, whatever. He's going on tour with Spurs. It's a career, and then things are going to happen after. So we have to look and say, why is it okay for Sonny to do that, but Morgan Gibbs-White, he can't? Harry Kane did it when he went to Bayern Munich. If Wolves' fee is in it or whatever, Morgan Gibbs-White played every pre-season game for Wolves and went on their tour before he moved to Forest. It's what happened. Morgan Gibbs-White is contractually obliged or obligated to do what his club currently, or his employer, tell him to do so. And he's a fan favourite there. And you can see it with the goodbye, and they're all singing his name. We all saw, and I'm not saying these players are in the same. We all remember what happened with Harry Kane when he wanted to go to Man City.
Yeah.
And then it like ruined a bit of the. Obviously, he earned it back and then some. But maybe he just doesn't want to do that. Maybe with what's going on with his fiancée, he's got other things in his personal life that he don't want to rock the boat. I don't see how it's okay for some players to go on tour and then get a deal done. But if Morgan White got on the plane, that's it, move on.
No, I don't think it's about it's okay for him to do it or not. Obviously, in the reality, I think you're right. I think it doesn't mean much if he's on the plane or not, whether this transfer is going to happen, because at any point he could leave the tour. Whenever we've seen players leave tours early and all that kind of stuff. But I guess what the frustration is at the moment is Tottenham fans are currently looking for evidence that this deal is going to happen and it's going to get done, and to be confident within themselves that they've got nothing to worry about. And things like if he was to be left out the starting lineup for a friendly, if he was to be left out the tour, that would be evidence that it's happening and it's going to be imminent. So the fact that at each stage is like, oh, okay, he's starting for Forest. Oh, okay, he's now going on the. Well, he's not going on the tour, but whatever. If the reason you're looking out for these things is because you want to see if it's going to go in your favour or not. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen down the line, but it just means right now it seems as though it's not completely imminent and it's not going to happen in the next day or so. And that's where the frustration is. All the people saying, "Oh, he has to not be on the tour." That's because these guys are getting maybe a bit insecure that deal might not happen. And if he doesn't go on the tour, that's evidence that, okay, this is happening and we can get excited again. But the fact that he was set to go on or whatever, that leaves them a bit more in limbo again about whether it's happening or not.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even like Lucas said with I think it was Luke, you said, with saying that Levy's done it again. You look at it, when you sign Kudos, then you sign Gibbs-White, and everything's like, oh my God, here we go. Maybe we are actually changing, maybe. And then it's just come to a shuddering halt. And then there's been obviously all the rumours are coming out about different players and whatnot. But from going along this highway, nice and straight and everything rosy, the fact that it's now changed, takeover talk was rife, and now it's gone quiet. It just does seem same old, doesn't it? In a lot of respects of what we're doing and how we normally act.
So you are back on the same old train? Not yet. No. Or are you feeling that way?
Not yet. Like I said, I refuse point blank to give up on Gibbs-White. I refuse until Spurs come out and say we have ended our interest. This ain't happened. We're looking at other targets. I refuse to give up. And if that does happen, then I'm not going to be happy that we've wasted all this time, unless other targets are reached immediately. But we're going to have to. Again, it's just same old. Have to wait and see.
Just before we let you go, Brian, I just want to talk a bit about Gaza just before we finish. Obviously, your favourite player of all time, holds a very special place to you and to pretty much every other Spurs fan out there as well, and every other football fan. You know, everyone has a soft spot for Gaza with what he brought to the nation and what he brought to the game. Obviously, he was in intensive care last night. I heard he was in a stable condition, which is obviously positive. So I was just wondering if you wanted to say a few words on Gaza. Yeah,
we were just doing it at the end. It's hard for me to only say a few words about Paul Gascoigne. To me, no matter who we sign for the rest of my life, no one will hold a torch to this man. I was very, very fortunate to meet the man on many occasions in good circumstances and unfortunately a couple of bad ones. A very kind-hearted guy. But when you look back at the day when Spurs weren't the strongest team or whatever, that man, when they used to say he's worth the entry fee alone, that man was more than worth the entry fee. The guy who obviously wasn't the stockiest or the most well-built or the fastest. I've never seen a player that could do the things he's done. I was lucky to watch the 1991 FA Cup run where up until the final, where obviously what happened, he tore every team to shreds. When he was at Rangers, other clubs, you saw, just talking to Ben Kaufman when we were doing our show, he never got to see Gaza play because of his age. And he said, I did get to see him in the Inter Milan for the first game of the season, first game of the stadium. And I said, I bet you Paul Gascoigne got the loudest reception of the whole night when he came. He was like, yup. Whenever he came back to the guy, my biggest regret in football was never, ever, ever seeing Gareth Bale play live. Never got to see him live. But my biggest pleasure, and I wouldn't change it for the world, was seeing Paul Gascoigne non-stop. The thing about it with him, and obviously we have something in common, obviously our demons. As soon as I saw it, I just hope he hasn't been back on a bender or anything like that happen. I'm very fortunate with my demons. This time next week, I'm 17 years sober, which is and obviously Gaza, who has had to, thank you boys, Gaza, who's obviously had to deal with the media, had to deal with a lot of stuff. And when you see, I can't believe when he goes into pubs, people serve this man. I can't believe when he's pissed, people film him and put it up for clicks and likes. And no matter what you think of him as a human, as a footballer, whether he supports Spurs or any other club he paid for, he's a human being one of the greatest talents England has ever developed. And it's just very upsetting. I get very upset when I see stories like this because he is my footballing hero. I've got every video on him. I've got all the VHSs still at home. I've got a couple of his shirts. I remember having the Fog on the Tyne single was my first single that my parents bought me. I had Gazza's shell suits. That man swept the nation with what he did in Italia 90, the greatest player at the World Cup, bar none. Bar none. I just wish him a very, very, very speedy recovery and a lifetime with full health and happiness, because he is an icon, he is a legend, and I love him to bits.
Yeah, I mean, we both very much echo those thoughts as well. So yeah, we'd like to wish Gazza a speedy recovery, and let's hope he does get back on his feet again. But yeah, I think that is it from us today, Brian. I'm sure we weren't able to push anything through on this stream, but
we're sending positive vibes, Ben.
Yeah,
we're sending the vibes
100%. We're sending positive vibes. Let's hope we get some more news as the days progress. Everyone do go and subscribe to Tottenham on Tour. What's the latest subscriber count?
We are about 630. We want to try and get to 10,000 before the start of the season, as in Burnley. That would be great, or as close to 10,000 before Burnley, assuming
630 subscribers away from 10,000.
Around that.
Come on, surely we could get that done right now.
Come on, people.
We've got 1,662 people watching right now. Surely 600.
Put our link in your chat. Put our link in your chat.
Surely 600 of you, 600 to 700 of you have not subscribed to Tottenham on Tour that are watching right now. So go and subscribe right now. Like, what are you waiting for? Seriously.
It would be awesome. Like I said, and people I've seen, obviously, when I've done streams with people like, oh, wait till Frank loses a couple of games, he'll be negative again. Nah, I am Thomas Frank's first line of defence. I love the man. It's going to be all positive. It's going to be all positive with me when it comes to Thomas Frank and the players. Hopefully it will be with the board as well, because there'll be new investment. But yeah, it's going to be very, very, very positive stuff from Tottenham on Tour and myself when I'm on your channel, when we're talking anything Spurs matches, Thomas Frank, everything. So Tottenham on Tour are going to be doing a lot of stuff. And if you're in North America or time zones of that, where obviously I'm going to be doing quite a few late night streams at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 a.m. UK time, whatever times. So people will be able to join and actually be a part of the show. So if people want to subscribe and help us get to that 10,000 mark, it would be absolutely brilliant.
All right, well, there you have it. Go and subscribe to Tottenham on Tour, people. I believe you're on 9,400 at this moment in time.
There we go. So there, it's going up already. Thank you, people. Thank you very much indeed.
Go and subscribe.
There'll be a lot of content, but then if We Are Tottenham TV phone up and say, Brian, we need you on, Ben will take over the show and I'll be here, because my love for this channel is greater than anything in Spurs YouTube.
Well, help him get to 10k, people. Just 600 subscribers away. Really not a lot. So nearly hitting that 10k mark, people. But Brian, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. I'm sure we'll speak later on or tomorrow, but we'll see you.
You mean when you got to go do a late night live because rumours have come out that he's coming to Tottenham?
Yeah, exactly.
I look forward to it. I'll mark it in my diary.
Perfect.
Everyone in the chat, have a great one. Boys, great to see